Sometimes you film a whole video, you do all your things, you edit it, but it still just doesn't work. Happens a lot more than you think it does, but because most people upload weekly, they have the time to catch up and film new parts or reshoot the whole thing completely and upload it when they're supposed to. But when you do daily, you don't have that time luxury. In the spirit of not missing a day and hopefully still bringing you guys some value, I stitched together some of the scattered video with some intermissions like this, and I'm doing that on this very day that you're watching it. First of all, it needs to be said, you don't need a setup like this. We made it with fixed lights and wood and all of that stuff, but I mean, people make these out of cardboard and lamps and it works exactly the same. We just decided to do a good fitted wood structure so that it can hold together for longer. Also, I'm sorry for any mess you might see in the surroundings of this video. The box is set up in our storage room so that it can stay set up and not be in the way of anyone or anything. And then first things first, you need to collect your props or anything you want to be in the photo. For this photo, obviously I'm using the coffee, some things that I used to make the coffee, a little milk jug, and those wooden circles that you see behind me. Okay guys, I've got my laptop just off screen over here, and I've opened Lightroom, imported all the images. Let's get into editing that photo that I used for yesterday's thumbnail. Okay, this is where the video starts to fall apart a little bit. So you see I had my laptop off to the left of screen, which I did, and it was supposed to be screen recording everything I was talking about in Lightroom, which I thought it was, but when I clicked stop and save, it just didn't save it to my desktop like it normally does when you record with QuickTime. And I thought maybe it was just processing for a little longer because it was a long recording, but it just never saved, and so I lost that. And now I have 2 hours of me blabbing to the camera about things that I'm doing without you actually being able to see what I was doing. Need to adjust the white balance just a little bit. I think that's fine. And then not to mention, 2 clicks away from when I was about to finish, this happened. Okay, so my camera just ran out of battery and I don't have enough time or sunlight to wait for that to finish charging, so I'm just gonna record this last bit on my phone, but I'm gonna make a real quick summary. I only really spoke about one magic tool, and that's the brush tool. It's amazing. You click on the little brush and then you start coloring in all the areas you want to affect. You'll see it highlights red, and if yours doesn't highlight red, there's a little tick box that you can click to make sure that it's showing you what you're coloring in. Then you can just color in all the areas you want to affect, and then you can tick off the red highlight again and come over to the right hand panel where you do all your adjustments, and those adjustments will now only change the selected areas. After I was done with these adjustments, I added in a title in Photoshop, but you'll notice from yesterday's video, it didn't look anything like this photo, and it didn't have a title, and that's because it ended up looking way worse than I wanted it to. I just really wasn't happy with the results, so I scrapped that too. I'm not too concerned about making it perfect because it's gonna look perfectly okay on the little block that it fits in on YouTube. And that's because it ended up looking way worse than I wanted it to. I just really wasn't happy with the results, so I scrapped that too. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.